Have you ever told yourself, I don't even like this kind of person, so why am I attracted to them? Maybe you say you want someone tall, handsome, wealthy, and confident, but somehow you keep falling for someone completely different. Or when you finally found someone that matches your standards, in the end, you end up hurt and broken. And then you start questioning yourself. Why do I keep choosing the wrong person? Maybe there's something wrong with me. But here's the truth. Most people aren't choosing the wrong person. They're just confusing four completely different things: attraction, physical standards, preferences, and relationship standards. And if you don't understand the difference between these four, you might spend your whole life chasing the wrong partner. So, let's break them down. But before we start, there's something very important you need to understand. Many of the standards you think are your own preferences are actually planted by the society. And once you realize that, you might start understanding why you feel attracted to people you thought you would never choose. Let's start with physical appearance standards. This is the easiest one to recognize. It's the height, body shape, facial features, skin tone, hairstyle. These are the visible traits we notice immediately. But here's something very interesting. Most of these standards are not originally created by you. They are heavily influenced by society, media, and culture. From movies, advertisements, and social media, we are constantly shown the same type of ideal beauty. Tall men, slim women, perfect skin, perfect bodies. And slowly, without realizing it, people start believing that this is what they should want. So, when someone dates a person who fits that ideal image, society praises them. Their friends approve. Their ego feels validated. But the real question is, does your heart actually feel happy? Because the truth is, a beautiful face does not automatically mean a beautiful character. But the society often teaches us that attractive people must also be kind, intelligent, and good partners. But that assumption is simply not true. And many people end up chasing appearance while ignoring the things that actually matters in a relationship. Now, here's where things starts getting confusing. Because even if the society tells you what you should find attractive, your mind doesn't always follow those rules. And that's where preferences come in. Preferences are little different from physical standards. Preferences are shaped by your own personal experience, upbringing, culture, and personality. For example, some people prefer someone with big muscular body because it makes them feel safe and secure. Some prefer smaller physique because they're scared of a man with a big body. Some people prefer someone quiet, others prefer someone outgoing. Some prefer someone ambitious, and others prefer someone calm and simple. Preferences can also include things like religion, lifestyle, beliefs, education, and family values. These are not always things society forces on you. They often develop from your life experiences. But here's the interesting part. Preferences are often semi-conscious. You might know you like something, but you may not fully understand why you like it. And here comes the most confusing part of all. Even when someone meets your physical standards and even when they match your preferences, you might still feel nothing. And that's because of the third factor, which is attraction. Attraction is the emotional pull you feel towards someone and is mostly unconscious. This means your brain is reacting automatically without logical thinking. Attraction can come from many things. Sometimes it's the appearance, sometimes it's their energy, their aura. Sometimes it's because you share similarities, emotional familiarity, even simply spending time together. And sometimes you don't even know why. You just feel drawn to them. This is why people sometimes say love at first sight. But be very careful because that phrase is actually very misleading. Because what people feel at first sight is not love, it's attraction. And attraction often comes from very limited information. Your brain fills the missing details with imagination. You begin projecting an ideal version of that person in your mind. And this is why attraction can lead to two different outcomes once you truly get to know someone. Either the attraction fades because the real person is not who you imagined, or the attraction deepens because the real person turns out to be even better. But attraction alone is not enough to build a lasting relationship because the final piece of the puzzle is something most people never think about: the relationship standard. Relationship standards are the qualities that determine whether a relationship can actually last. And these standards have very little to do with appearance. Instead, they focus on things like intelligence. Can you sit together and have meaningful conversation? Can you exchange ideas without feeling bored? Because if you have this kind of connection, you would never be bored together. Humor. Can you laugh together? Can you joke with each other without hurting each other's feelings? When you have such connection, you will be able to communicate your feelings easily. Intimacy. Do you connect physically and emotionally? Do your needs and comfort levels match? And then there are character traits: empathy, responsibility, honesty, kindness, hygiene, emotional maturity, and many more. These are the qualities that create something extremely important in a relationship: the security. Emotional, mental, and physical security. And when those things exist, respect, loyalty, honesty, and effort become natural behaviors, not forced obligations. And that's when real love actually has the chance to grow. Because when someone genuinely makes you happy, you naturally want to make them happy too. You compromise, not because you have to, but because you want to. There's a technique on how you can track your relationship standards. One practical way to do this is to write them down. List everything you believe is important for a healthy relationship to work. Things like emotional maturity, communication, responsibility, empathy, shared values, lifestyle, or whatever truly matters to you. And then, when you meet someone you're attracted to, go back to that list. Use it as a guide. You can even rate each quality from 1 to 10, with 5 being the minimum standard you believe is acceptable for a healthy relationship. This doesn't mean you're judging someone like a product. It simply helps you stay aware of what truly matters to you. Because attraction can sometimes cloud our judgment. But when you take a moment to look at your own standards, you remind yourself of something very important. That choosing a partner is not only about how someone makes you feel in a moment. It's also about whether the two of you can actually build a life together. And before we end, let me address a common myth. People often say, it's much better if a man loves the woman more. But love isn't something you measure. Love isn't a competition. You're either loved or you're not. And the clearest sign that someone loves you is simple. Your happiness becomes their happiness. They want to see you smile, and when they can make you smile, their heart feels lighter too. But if someone knows what makes you happy and still chooses not to do it, then maybe they don't truly love you. Maybe they just like you. And those two things are very different. So, if you truly want to find someone that you can connect with, don't just chase attraction. Don't just follow society's idea of beauty. And don't blindly copy other people's standards. Instead, take the time to understand yourself, your values, your needs, your emotional patterns. Because once you truly understand yourself, you'll stop chasing perfection, and you'll start recognizing real connection when it appears. And when two people truly connect, love has a much better chance to grow. Not because it's perfect, but because it's real. And that's where real love begins. Till next time!